Sewing with ByAnnie's Soft and Stable is easy, and there are several options. On this particular bag, I wanted all the focus to be on the textured flap, so I didn't want to have any quilting lines in the base of my bag. Had I used batting, I would have had to quilt it because I couldn't go that far apart without sewing them together. By using the Soft and Stable, I just sew around the outside edges of my piece, catch it in my outer seams. When I'm done, I've got a bag that has nice, clean, smooth, tailored lines without any quilting lines. So the way I make this bag is take my pieces for the parts of my bag. This is the front of my bag. This is my pocket. This is the back of my bag. I put each one of them on a piece of Soft and Stable, and then I just stitch around the outside edge. It's quick and easy to do. It's as quick as fusing, and I don't have to worry about having that cellulite look that you get if you try to use a fusible interfacing and don't have your iron at the right temperature. I've ruined more than one project trying to do that, and that's why I chose not to have a fusible layer on Soft and Stable. I like to just sew it. Because the Soft and Stable has a nice nap to the fabric, it hugs the pieces and they don't shift and slide as you sew. So it's really simple and easy to do. Often I will put my walking foot on when I sew those, and it's quick and easy. On this one, you can see I've already done that step. This is the back of my On the Town bag. I've sewn around the outside edge, cut it out. The back of my bag is ready to join with the front of my bag to make my purse, and it's quick and simple to do. So that's the first way, sew just around the outside edges. The second way to join Soft and Stable to your fabric is to actually quilt through all three layers. That's what I did on my little name tag bag that I made here. I took a beautiful batik fabric, I layered Soft and Stable with it, I added a dark purple, and I quilted through all the layers, quilting an entire piece of fabric from which I then cut the various pieces needed for my bag. You'll see more of these steps on my Make a Simple project videos, but I'm going to show you just quickly the steps to do. Take your main fabric and position it face down on your table. Take your Soft and Stable, put it on top. Then take your lining and face up, put it on top. If you want to stitch from the back, that's the order you would go in. If you want to stitch from the front, you'd do it in reverse. So you'd start with your lining and finish with your main fabric face up. If you want to mark some stitching lines on this using a little chalk marker, that's easy to do. Again, because the Soft and Stable has a nice soft texture and nap, it hugs these pieces so it slightly grabs them, and you have very little shifting of layers as you stitch. The dense foam of Soft and Stable keeps it from getting wavy and moving and stretching as you sew, so when you're done, you've got a nice flat, even piece that you can cut your pieces for your project out. So that's the second way you can work with Soft and Stable, by quilting it to your fabric, stitching through all three layers. The third way that you can sew with Soft and Stable is to sew just your main fabric to the Soft and Stable, using the Soft and Stable as your foundation. That's how I made this placemat. I love the fact that it looks as good on the back as it looks on the front. It's a nice reversible placemat, and that's because I don't have the messy stitching of my quilt as you go technique showing on the back. My back is completely free. The only place I caught it is on the outside edges where I sewed it together and then brought my backing around to the front to make my binding. Sometimes when I'm making a little bag, I want to have my outside quilted, but I want to add my lining as a separate step. So on this little bag, which is part of my pet set pattern, it's a wonderful little bag that you can use when you go to walk the dog. You've got an open pocket on the front where you can put your doggy waste bags. There's room inside to put your water, your wallet, your iPhone, whatever it is you want to carry with you, and a nice adjustable strap. The pattern also includes leashes for your dog. But on that one, I quilted the outside together and then I put my lining in as a separate layer. I also do that on the main part of the My Pad case, because again, I want my lining separate, and on the To Market tote, it's quilted on the outside, separate on the outside. So on each of these instances, my Soft and Stable is my foundation. Again, because ByAnnie's Soft and Stable has fabric on both sides, I can quilt with the soft and stable as my foundation. I don't have to worry about the foam catching on my feed dogs. So that's number 3. Sew just the main fabric to your soft and stable. The 4th way to use soft and stable in your project is to sew just the lining to the soft and stable. When I make this bag, this is the tote bag from my textured tote and accessories pattern, I texturize the outside of the bag using Texture Magic. It would be difficult to stitch that to soft and stable, so in this instance I texturize my piece of fabric, I assemble the outside of the bag, then I take my piece of soft and stable, lay it down, put my lining fabric on it, stitch it together, and cut my lining out. I assemble a separate bag using the lining, a separate bag using the Texture Magic. I slip them together with the lining inside the textured, and then I just sew a piece of binding around the top to finish off the bag. I've got a beautiful bag that holds its shape and it's comfortable to carry. I also use the soft and stable in the handles on this one. So that's the 4th way. Sew just your lining fabric to the soft and stable. And the 5th way is keep everything separate. When I made these 2 little bags, which are made using my special occasion purses, I assembled basically 3 bags. The first one I assembled using my textured fabric. I sewed my flap to that one, and my flap was lined. I had all the lining on it already. On the next one I made a separate bag using just my lining, and then I made a 3rd bag using my soft and stable. I put all of them together, sewed around the top edge to join them, turned them right side out, leaving an opening in the inside of my lining on the bottom. And when I was done, I've got a pretty little bag. So that was the 5th way to do it. That way would work great also if you were making a bag using knit fabric. Let's say you want it to knit fabric for a bag or crochet fabric for a bag, and you've got a loose kind of elastic type bag that if you put things in it, things might fall through the holes in the knitting or it might stretch out of shape. You can make a separate bag out of your soft and stable, slip it inside your knit or your crocheted bag, and you're going to have a nice bag that holds its shape and is sturdy and things can't fall through the holes in the knit or crochet. As you can see, there's lots of ways to use soft and stable in your project. I hope you'll give one a try soon.